Hey guys, it's Mo Trapper here. So today I wanted to do a little video on the Sudden Valley Supply SVS number 4 Cast Jaw Coyote Trap. And this is it here. I'm going to hold it up, show you guys kind of what we're working with here. So it's a very big trap. We've got a 6.5 inch inside jaw spread and a 7 1/4 outside jaw spread. This is the cast jaw version. There's a cast jaw and a regular stamped steel jaw. This is the cast jaw, so there may be a little bit of difference on the dimensions on the regular jaw. But this is an offset trap. It's got wire levers instead of the solid levers, so the 4 coil springs are extend up to make the levers of the trap. It's got a great big pan on it. It is a 2.5 inches wide by a little over 4.5 inches long. It's a Montgomery style dogless system. It's bolted together, so the frame here is 2 pieces that allows the hooks of the jaws to be kind of like an MB style. And then the cross frame is actually riveted to one of the frame rails that's bolted together to make the trap. Very big trap, very heavy trap. And let's do the pan tension real quick, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. But I want to get that out of the way. So I'm going to put this right in the center of the pan, and we're going to go 1 pound, 2 pounds. Right at 2 pounds, maybe just a little under 2 pounds. So this Montgomery style, whenever I first got this trap, so I just ordered this trap a couple of days ago. It came in pretty quickly. And one of the reasons it came in pretty quickly is because, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it at all or not, but this trap is made in Warrenton, Missouri, which I think is pretty cool. There's a place called Sudden Valley Supply. Excuse me, and I've showed you his R trap before, and a little bit of controversy with the R trap, but they're working great for me so far. So this is the same manufacturer. So so I ordered this. It's got I can't remember the name of this. This is a different kind of a swivel though, and tends to be popular. I think it's basically a nut with the link welded onto it. It's got really good looking chain and a good looking swivel, and the swivel is stamped made in USA, which I don't know what swivel this is. It doesn't look like a crunch proof. Maybe it is, I'm not sure, but none of the crunch proofs that I have are stamped made in the USA that I'm aware of. Maybe they are, but I haven't noticed it if they are. So, but this one is stamped made in the USA. This trap is not cheap either. It's $30. It was $30, and then it was I think $9.95 shipping. So not an inexpensive trap, but it is wire levered. It is 4 coiled. He's got a nice 4 coil system here to keep your springs. That's bolted to the front here. It's a Montgomery style dogless, so you don't have to worry about bending up dogs or things like that. So I mean, I think it's a nice trap. I do plan to run it this year and see how it does. When I got it though, it wouldn't stay set. I mean, it was, so this, there's a notch here, and this jaw is very rounded, so I don't think you're going to have any paw damage at all with these. They're big, heavy, thick cast, and they're very rounded. So I think as far as comfort for the animal, anybody who's doing live market that doesn't want to, have any cuts or anything on the paws, I think this would be a good jaw for that. I think it's going to be very comfortable for the animal. But because it's rounded and you have this Montgomery style dogless system, there's a little notch that's kind of machined or built into this, that when you lift it up, it hooks onto that jaw. Well, it was a very small notch. I mean, very small notch whenever I got them. And this is a sample size of 1, so I don't want to say any broad sweeping statements about these traps because this is one trap, right? But when I went to set it, when you're setting a trap, that you can when you push down the levers, or the wire levers, whatever you got, but when you push down and you engage whatever it is, whether it's a dog, a traditional jaw on dog, or whether it's a dogless, whatever the trap is, at some point you start to release pressure on the springs that you're holding open, and you start to give over that control to the mechanism that's going to hold the trap open, right? Whether it's a dogless style like this, or a dog on, or whatever you're doing, at some point you start to release the pressure. And the mechanism that's going to hold the trap open, whatever dog system they're using, takes that pressure, and you can kind of feel it, and you can kind of tell that it has taken over and it's holding that pressure at that point, right? Whenever I first set this trap, that was not happening. The notch was so shallow that I mean, it was a little nerve-wracking actually trying to set it at first, because it kept feeling like it was going to go even when I had the pan held up in the up position. Like it wasn't, like the notch wasn't deep enough to actually hold that jaw open. But I finally did get it to set, and I took the trap pan tester and I tested it, and I didn't even make it to the 1. Okay, didn't even make it to 1 pound. So it was a matter of ounces. I mean, it was a hairy trigger. It was a little spooky setting it, to be honest with you. But obviously I looked at it and knew what needed to be changed in order to address that. So I took a file and filed back a little bit deeper notch. And it looks like I may need to file a little bit more on that to get that notch just a little bit deeper, because we're almost to 2 pounds, which to me is pretty dang light. And that's in the center of this big old pan. So out here toward the end of this pan, we're probably going to be back down into the ounces before she would go. So I'm probably going to go ahead and file that notch just a little bit deeper to try to get that pan tension up a little bit higher. I'd like it to be at least probably 3 pounds in the center of this pan, because it is such a big pan. So I can get it, above a pound out here to the edge. But, the pan is very big, but the pan is, I don't want to say it's thin, but it's somewhat thin. It's thinner than an MB550 pan, I think. It's definitely thinner than the No BS Junior pans. Whenever I first got this trap, and it sits nice and level. Actually, the loose jaw sits lower than the power jaw, which is a little bit unusual. But it sits very flat. I mean, I think it'll be a dream to bed this thing, because it's going to sit so flat, and you've got the wire lever, so there's just really not going to be anything in your way as far as bedding. And it's a heavy trap too. I mean, these jaws are really heavy, really nice jaws. But when I first got it, this pan was bent up just a little bit at the tip, so it kind of had a curve to it like this. So I just pulled it up like this and stuck my hands just like that and just kind of pulled on it right here in the middle and bent the pan back down. So it's more level now than it was. So the fact that I could just hold it like this with my hands and pull on it and bend that pan, tells me that if a coyote really wants to chew on this pan and start twisting on it, you're going to have a bent up pan. It is welded in 3 spots. If you don't get a coyote that wants to chew at it or pull on it, I think it'll be just fine. But if you do, I think you're going to have a bent up pan, and I think you're going to have to do some tweaks in the field. Maybe that's just kind of the nature of the beast with this guy. And I could be wrong. Maybe I won't have any bends on it at all. But it feels thin enough that's a possibility at least. Everything else about it feels real heavy. Like I said, it's a 2-piece design. It's got really nice bolts, heavy duty looking bolts with an Allen head that run through it to hold it together. And, it's a good looking trap. We'll see. Like I said, the only things that are a little bit concerning to me was it had no pan tension when I got it. Now again, that could have just been one that got out that wasn't quite the way they wanted it to be before it left. That kind of thing happened. So I modified it at this point, and I've got it to where it's pretty good. I'm probably going to go a little bit further to get that pan tension up just a little bit, but not bad overall. And then again, my other slight reservation. And I haven't run this trap, so I don't know this for a fact, but I do feel like this pan is a little bit thin and may get bent up in the process of, just fighting with a coyote over the course of several hours. So, but anyway, that's it. SVS number 4 Cast Jaw. So we'll run it this season, see how it does, and I'll let you know. Thanks.